Let's talk about it. Come on and shout it. I talk, you talk, we talk. Women talk life. It ain't no surprise. Baby, you could see if you would open up your eyes. You won't understand if you can't open up your mind. So let's stop wasting time when women talk live.
And welcome to another episode of Women's Talk Live. I'm your girl, April J.
I'm SassyScribe.
And Kim is working today. She's working today. So she couldn't join us, but she'll be with us next time. So, but we're going to hold it down.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. On today's show, we're going to be talking about unlearning for Black and brown women, letting go of always being strong. I think that resonates with a lot of Black women these days and times. So
a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And sadly, it's in every aspect of our lives. It's not only professional, it's personal.
Right. So we're going to get into that, but first we want to get into our history facts. So first up, we have Victorian etiquette was so extra that even saying hello came with instructions. Paying a visit usually meant dropping off a card, calling cards, sometimes 3, but never more, or leaving before you actually saw someone, especially if only a young daughter was home. At dinner, you faced a minefield of specialized forks and rules about how quietly you could enjoy your food. While critics joked that eating peas with a fork was like eating soup with a knitted needle. Yeah, so no spoons. But you couldn't even, here's another one, you couldn't even introduce yourself without a proper go-between. Not at home was a polite lie everyone agreed to believe. And widows had a year-plus timeline for how sad they were allowed to appear, and stepping out without gloves could cause more gossip than the actual news of the day. And then the next one was a widow had a year-plus timeline for how sad they were allowed to appear. And they couldn't even appear in public. So.
And didn't they have to dress in black the entire year?
Exactly.
Like the entire wardrobe was black, and some of them had to wear the veil when they were out in public.
Yeah.
And we have been regulated since the beginning of time.
I know. Ain't that crazy?
It's crazy.
Yeah. Next one is about Cleopatra. So Cleopatra was a real superpower. Well, her real superpower wasn't seduction. It was being smart and more strategic than almost everyone in the room. Forget the Hollywood version in the gold eyeliner and dramatic aspite. The real Cleopatra ruled Egypt for 22 years, juggled civil wars, and cut high-stake deals with Julius Caesar and the late Mark Antony to keep her kingdom alive in the shadows of Rome. She had a son with Caesar, nicknamed Ciaran, and Little Caesar. Well, which was another thing of calling him Little Caesar. Children with Antony, and held on to power until Octavian, future emperor of Augustus, defeated them, and they had young Ciaran killed, folding Egypt into the Roman Empire in 30 BCE. And she also wasn't ethnically Egyptian. Cleopatra was from the Macedonian Greek dynasty found by Philippine. I always get that mixed up. But it was one of Alexander the Great's generals. But she broke the family pattern by actually learning Egyptian and embracing local culture. She was actually half Egyptian, because her mother was Egyptian, so she wasn't fully Greek. But famous in her own time, her education and languages, she reportedly spoke multiple tongues and impressed envoys of addressing them in their own language. Less of a temptress, more terrifying, competing CEO of a very fragile kingdom. So she was just very smart, and she played chess, not checkers.
Yeah, she was an extreme critical thinker, always 10 steps ahead of her opponent. Always.
Exactly. Yeah. Lastly is about wedding rings. So wedding rings started out less romantic and more of a congratulations. You are now legally they're now legally part of the household paperwork. But in ancient Romans were the first to use wedding rings in a way we recognize today. After the marriage contract and feast, the groom gave the bride a ring at the door of their new home, signaling their union and that she now belonged to his family. Early bands were made of iron or copper for everyday life, with wealthier brides giving a fancier gold version to show off in public. Basically, an ancient upgrade from a house ring to an Instagram ring. They wore these on the fourth finger of the left hand because people believed in a special vein of love running through your heart. A cute idea that atomically wrong, but romantically stubborn enough that we're still following it. So that's where
we're stuck with it.
We're
stuck with it.
Stuck with it.
Yeah.
So we can get today. Like I said before, we're talking about unlearning for Black and brown women, and this is letting go of always being strong, which is something I think was ingrained in us from the beginning of time. Mm-hmm. We always had to be strong.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, for many of us, being a Black and brown woman has come with this unspoken job description: being strong, being available, being grateful, don't complain, and definitely don't fall apart.
Woo, that part.
Yeah. And if you do fall apart, you do it quietly where no one can see you. Yep. Been there, done that.
What? Right. Just recently did it. Just recently did it in the past couple of weeks. Just completely fell apart.
Right. So for this show, women of color who have always felt like the strong one everyone calls on, but no one really checks on. The overachiever who is successful on paper, but exhausted in real life. Yes. The caregiver, the fixer, the translator, the backbone of the family who's secretly wondering who's holding me. Yeah.
Something I question all the time.
Right. So in this show, we're going to talk honestly and cultural expectation, as we've grown up in our family dynamic, pressures we carry, and success that we're, kind of ingrained in us to achieve.
Right. What's defined as success.
Yeah. Right. So it's more of just kind of loving ourselves to say, and this was a quote that it didn't come from me, but when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is interesting. But it says, some of what I was taught kept us alive, but it might be keeping me from actually living.
I can see that. It's like, as we were reading in our research, it's like rest is a dirty word.
Yeah.
And our bodies tell us that there was a story, maybe a few months ago, where this young lady posted on her Facebook page that she had been grinding, and she was going to take a nap and never woke up. I think she was maybe between her 30s and 40s, but she was grinding so hard that when she shut down, her body just shut down. And that's sad.
Yeah.
That is sad.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. I've had someone that I graduated high school with who was a professor at Yale and was working. And I think one day she was complaining she had a headache. She wanted to go home and lay down. And lo and behold, she never woke up, and come to find out she had a brain aneurysm. But she, just never rested. So it was like, yeah. But so what do we mean by unlearning? So let's define what unlearning means. Unlearning is the process of noticing beliefs you were taught by family, culture, church, and media that no longer serves your mental health, and choosing new, healthier beliefs. And that's true. Like there are a lot of things that you have learned. Like there are like I said, I tell folks I've been a PK kid since I was young. So, I grew up in the church. So there was a lot of things that were expected of you growing up that I felt like had a lot of pressure at the time. It was normal.
It's not to be worldly. If you're growing up in that environment as a young lady, you comport yourself accordingly, and that's it.
Yeah. It was a lot. It was a lot. And another is it's not betraying your culture. It's updating the rules so you don't lose yourself while trying to honor everyone.
Woo-hoo. We as black women, black and brown women, but especially I'm gonna speak on black women. We have been so used to centering everyone else's comfort and joy over our own. And then we're made to feel guilty and selfish for wanting to center ourselves.
Right. Ain't that crazy?
It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's true. And I see it more in romantic relationships than anything. When women center their man so much that the moment she centers herself, he feels rejected, resentful, and left out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you have to cover up so much.
Yes. And I'm extremely guilty of centering the men in my life. I'm extremely guilty of that.
Yeah.
And it never works out for me. It never works out for me. So
I get it. Trust me, I get it. So another thing is mental health framing, internalizing beliefs, messaging you heard so often, you have to be strong or don't air family business. Oh, how many times have you heard that?
My mother used to say, don't trace tales out of this house. Don't.
Ooh,
don't tell anybody what goes on in this house.
Right, exactly. I was told that not only by my mother, but
I think I still live by it.
Oh yeah, I do the same thing. I just got fussed out. What was it last week by a family member for not sharing something, and I'm like, okay, but I'm not used to doing that. Right. But hey, it is what it is. Another one is cognitive dissonance. The mental discomfort when what you truly feel doesn't match what you think you're supposed to feel or do, and wanting rest but feeling guilty for it.
Yep.
So, yeah, that part.
I like this. Maybe you grew up being the one your family called whenever there was drama, bills to be paid, kids to be watched, rides to be given, and you learned I'm available when I fix things. Right. So as an adult, no one feels like you're being selfish or disrespectful. That's the belief we're unlearning.
Yes. Ain't that crazy? It's like
it's true.
I grew up mostly with a single mom. And I saw her constantly working, constantly doing whatever. But she ingrained in me hard work. And she was a military mom. So it was always expected for me to make sure things were done in the house, make sure that, I was up on my education. And because for her, she did not want me to fall in the pitfalls that, we normally as women fall into. But in the same sense, it wasn't only that, it was just different things of, I didn't really see her rest. Like, I really didn't see her take the time to really rest. So as I got older, I was always making sure, okay, this person good, being a wife, being a mother, in my career, in school, like, rest was like, okay, I got it when I could. So, but you always had to be, you had to be the strong one. And that was always me. I had to be the strong one. So, the strong.
I think in our family, we look at my oldest sister. Her nickname is Get Her Done. When you want something done, you need a refund, you need something broken, the people aren't willing to do what they're contractually bound to do. That's who we call. And she's always a strong one. And we always have to remember to be there for her because she breaks too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So the strong black woman, strong brown woman. So let's explain what the strong black woman stereotype. The idea that black women must be self-sacrificing, emotionally tough, endlessly resilient, rarely showing vulnerability. Research shows that this expectation leads many black women to neglect their own health and to hide trauma or pain to appear strong.
Yeah,
I can really resonate with it because
it feels like. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm saying because there were traumas that I had suffered through when I was a child, and I did not talk about it at all. I didn't say anything. I didn't even tell my mom at the time. I told my aunt, who eventually told my mom. But at that time, I felt like I was protecting my mom because the trauma I suffered under someone else, it was more of, don't you say anything or I'm going to hurt your mother. So for me, I'm like, I got to protect my mom. So I didn't discuss it. I didn't say anything about it. And there was a lot of things that happened in my life that I did not even deal with until I was well an adult and had to end up going to therapy and realizing that I was still internally holding this stuff and not knowing that I was holding this stuff. So
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think that when you say that you went to therapy, I think that's the other thing and it just not only black women, but in our community, I think black women are more open to going to therapy, but in our community, therapy was going to the church.
Yes.
And talking to the pastor. Right. And I think there's so many of us black women and especially black men that are completely unhealed from any form of trauma that they can't emotionally be available to anybody. And I think I think I'm a very strong person. And I think that the minute that I allow myself to be vulnerable, I always end up hurt.
Yeah.
So being vulnerable to me is like not something that I'm really open and willing to do. I want to be, I have been, but it never, being vulnerable never works out for me.
Yeah, it's hard. And I get that. And I think that's why I don't trust so easily.
Right. Yeah. I think I trust too easily and I give respect too easily. And it's never like, I think I'm a very good person and I do a lot of good things for people. And I think sometimes I can get taken for granted. And I think sometimes I think I give more than I get. in
Right.
return.
Exactly.
And
Felt like, yeah.
but that's just who I am. It's who I am as a person. If I like you, I want to do things for you. You know what I mean? With
Yeah.
no return on the
Right.
investment other
Exactly.
than
Yeah.
appreciation and being
Exactly.
grateful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I get it. I get it. I don't look for anything in return when,
but I always end up hurt. I always
I
end up
get
hurt.
it. I get it. I get it. All right. So, generalize for Black women. Many women of color are taught to put everyone else first, push through the
Yep.
pain, never admit they're overwhelmed.
Yep.
This can create burnout, anxiety, depression, sleep problems, and physical health issues like hypertension. The woman who is the main breadwinner and primary caregiver, handling income and domestic tasks, often as a single parent. The daughter who is expected to translate, advocate, and handle paperwork for her immigrant parents, even as a child. The high achieving woman in corporate and academic who faces racism, sexism, and isolation while still being expected to represent in the community. Yeah. So, I mean, when I was married and divorced, I was the primary. I mean, I wasn't the complete breadwinner, but I was the primary caregiver. Like I did
Right.
everything, and
Right.
so it's and even like now, like my parents are older, and even like yesterday, I had to take off because I had to go with my dad to an appointment. And then they came back and he has to go for additional appointments. And I'm the one, because I'm their only child, that has to, you know.
Right. So everything falls on you.
Right.
And
Yeah. Yeah. So,
I say that to, like KL, not trying to put a business out there, but KL is an extremely busy, booked and busy woman. And she burned those candles at both ends. And eventually those ends are going to meet and burn her out.
yeah.
And I don't want to see that. And the same could happen to you.
Yeah.
The same could happen to me. So I think the same did happen to me. I think I got burnt out, which is why I put situations with Sassy on such a long hiatus. I'm coming back, but I was on such a long hiatus because I got so burnt out.
Yeah, it can happen. It definitely can happen. Definitely have gotten to that point, and had to really kind of step back and take a moment, because after a while you can't deal with the burnout.
No, you can't. You can't.
So burnout is a state of emotional, mental, and physical exhaustion caused by long-term stress and overwork. It shows up as a constant tiredness, irritability, numbness, trouble sleeping, and feeling disconnected from yourself or your work.
Facts.
Emphasizing that burnout is common among women of color who carry multiple roles without support.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, all of that is true. And we're not discounting the burnout and the strength and mental exhaustion of non-women of color. But as Black women and brown women, there is an extra pressure that is put on us that you guys don't get. You always get a soft place to land where we have to fall 50 feet deeper before we can get to that soft space. If it's even there, it's still probably cement.
Right.
And sometimes it's fire. So you don't get the same, we don't get the same grace, which is why we're bringing attention to this subject.
Right.
Of unlearning this behavior.
Right. I mean, even if you look in society, Black women are looked to
save it.
To save it. Yeah. Like we are looked to be out there representing,
marching against this BS.
And I think Black women are at a point right now where we're exhausted. from having to save everyone or save society.
And we're resting.
Yeah, that doesn't really have our back.
Right.
Because
when 92% of black women voted the way in which they voted as a unit and no one paid attention, yeah, we're going to chill, we're going to moisturize, and we're going to relax and rest.
Right. And I think people tend to not understand that. But I think one thing that people don't really understand is that first, we have two strikes against us. We're women and we're black.
And we're black. Yep.
Yeah. So let's see. We're running down on time, but
okay. So we can maybe we can do a part 2 of this because there's still a lot of good information that we can discuss.
It is. I'm trying to see where. All right. So let's get into how burn up shows up, and then some tiny practices that we can do.
Right.
Well, yeah. So burnt up, you feel numb and detached, like you're watching your life instead of living it. Small tasks feel huge. You're quick to anger or tears, and your body is constantly tense.
Yeah.
You can't enjoy things you used to like, and you feel guilty whenever you're not doing something productive. Yeah.
Yes.
So
so many times I done thought like you just sitting here stagnant. You know, like I said, I got all of these great show ideas for situations with Sassy, but the minute I open up the laptop and turn everything on, it's like I don't even feel like doing it.
Yeah. Right. So here are some tiny rest practices.
Okay.
When I saw these, I was like, I had to do these myself.
I am.
Yeah. So schedule a weekly no one needs me hour where your phone is on do not disturb and you're not doing anything for others. Say, I need to think about that and get back to you instead of instantly saying yes to every request. No is a complete sentence.
Yes, it is. Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Take a social media Sabbath once a week where you are logged off and doing something grounding, like walking, journaling, or just listening to music. So, if accessible, keep therapy with a culturally competent provider who understands women of color experiences with stress, racism, and family expectations. I think that's a big one right there. Mm-hmm. I think taking a break from social media is a big thing. And I think having a therapist that is, and having a black woman therapist is key. If you're Asian, having an Asian therapist, if you're Hispanic, having a Hispanic therapist, if you're, Pacific Islander, all of those things, there's an affinity that you both have. There's an automatic understanding that you both have, being a person of color or a black person in this world. Right.
And I think that's extremely, and for men, I think getting a male therapist, a black male therapist is also key and important.
Yeah. Right.
Because black women don't really understand the trials and tribulations that y'all face every day. We have an idea.
Right.
But y'all face more pressure than we do. So I think therapy is really and truly key. But I like that social media Sabbath and the therapy. I really, really, really do. Because I've tried that. I've tried the putting my phone down. Like I play a lot of games, and I opened up an app early this morning, played a game. I played like 3,800 hours of this game. Mm-hmm. I was like, wait a minute, what is going on?
Right.
But it tells me the date I logged in, how long I logged in, when I used it, when I didn't use it. It's just, and it was just too much. So you got to take a break. You got to take a break.
Yeah. My phone every week, starting I think on Sunday, it sends me all like a snapshot of
your activity,
of my phone activity. So, and it kind of gives me a little perspective, because I don't be really on social media like that. So it's a lot of things that I don't even know. Things happen I don't know, because I'm just not one to be on social media like that.
Yeah,
And plus I'm just
guilty.
too damn busy, really. But all right, so here are some practical unlearning steps. Let's see. Step 1, name the belief. So identify one belief you want to unlearn this month, such as, I have to be the strong one. Rest is when everything is finished. If I set boundaries, I'm grateful or disrespectful. Let's see. Step 2, trace where it comes from. Ask, who taught me this? Was it parents, church, media, school, or the neighborhood? Clarify the understanding the source. Clarify that understanding the source is not about blaming, but about gaining perspective. You want to take the next steps?
Yeah, it's like decide on a new belief. So you got to replace it with a compassionate belief, like, I am allowed to be soft, supported, and human. Another one is, rest makes me more whole, not lazy. And I think that's what we have to get out. If you're resting, you're lazy.
Yeah.
When you're just resting.
Right.
And boundaries are a form of love for me and for others. And boundaries can really feel like rejection when it's just a boundary.
Right.
The final step is you got to take one small action. So practicing saying, I can't do that this week. I can't do that this week. Who expects you to someone who expects you to always show up. Just say, listen, I can't do it this week. The other one is, again, therapy. You can do it in person. You can do a call, or you can do a support group for women of color if there's one in your area. And I think there's a social media platform called Meetup, I believe, that they do it, that you can meet groups of like group therapy and whatnot. And there's also the WhatsApp and these other communities, social media communities. You may not want to do so. I know this is a contradiction of what we said by taking a social media sabbatical.
Right.
But there are groups on social media where they're like-minded Black women and brown women that are going through this unlearning process that you could probably get into. Right. And then finally, it's like choosing one chore that you will outsource, delay, or share instead of automatically doing it yourself. So if you can afford to, you get the maid to come in and clean your house. If you can afford to, you can do Instacart for your groceries.
Yeah.
It's one less pressure that you're trying to take off of yourself just to alleviate that burnout, because we're burnt out, and we're burnt out working every day and not really realizing that we're burnt out. So
that's one thing. That's one thing I was thinking about, because I was like saying to myself, maybe I should just take one day a month where somebody comes and clean the house, because I am like an advocate where I do not like my house a mess. I don't like stuff. I just, and that's the part that, growing up with a military mother. So, like getting out of bed, making sure my bed is made before
up.
Yeah, like I do not leave that room until that bed is made up. If I come back from a trip, making sure my
immediately
clothes are unpacked. Yeah, and put in dirty clothes or hung up, or like stuff cannot be laid around. It irritates my soul to see things just laying around.
Yeah, I'm not a clutter person. Like as I sit here, I'm looking my line of sight. I got this little thing on my butcher's block. I mean, what is it? The baker's rack. And I'm looking at it, it's like when I hang out with this call, I'm throwing that right in the trash. Because to me, it's clutter. I don't even know why I kept it as long as I had, but I feel you on that. I absolutely feel you on that. So there's always something that we can give to somebody else.
Right.
But when you live alone like me, you got to really think about it. It's budget constraints. It's a whole lot of other things that are involved in that. But you do have to. But what was the book that I read? And on the 8th day, she rested.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's only 7 days in a week. Think about that.
Yeah, true. All right. So last week poll is from our show from last week. How have you been scammed by an online guru? And I believe 73% have admitted to being scammed.
73%.
73%. I was shocked.
I mean, I've been scammed by these little Insta boutiques where I order something and it doesn't come or something happens, but never a guru. Never a guru.
But that goes to show you the mentality of society.
It's people just not wanting to do it. They don't want to do it themselves. Like the research is there. Google is your friend, and they just don't want to do it themselves.
They want to do it themselves, right?
Right.
So,
and I get it. I get it because it's work involved in it. It's work involved in it.
So this week's poll is: do you feel pressure to always be the strong one in your family or friend group? So let us know. Let us know. Yeah. I know I'm that one. So, and I'm slowly but surely learning myself because,
Yeah. I know I'm the one that everybody calls if they have a question on politics or hotels and restaurant recommendations. I said, I should be charging y'all for this concierge service that y'all are asking me for.
Right.
Because I'm the one y'all call. When, wedding planning and all that stuff, I do that.
Yeah, that's like with me, like my daughters, they'll call me for everything. My oldest daughter called me one time and said, I need air in my tire. And I'm like, you got a whole fiance. Why are you calling me to put air in my tire? Okay. So then it's so funny because I told my dad that. And so my dad is taking on the role of he sets up her car to have an oil change.
Okay.
So he's kind of taken that role because, and I never said anything he never said anything to me that he was going to do it or whatever. But it kind of was like, oh, wow. I was like, that took the pressure off of me.
Yeah. Yeah. But now she's about to have a whole husband.
Yeah, I don't think my grandfather is going to give up. I mean, her grandfather is going to give that up.
No, he's not. He's not. But at some point he might have to take the initiative. Not to this, but
he may.
But
he may.
Like that.
He may, but my dad's from Louisiana, so he's a stubborn soul. All right, so let's get into our
final thought
for today. Our final thought for today is: I'm not responsible for what my face does when you start talking. Guilty.
And I have an RB. I definitely have an RBF. Definitely have an RBF.
Yes, I have to. Yes. I try.
You're gonna see everything.
I try to maintain, but it don't work out for me. No,
not at all. Not at all. Great show.
Yes. We're gonna have to take this up.
And dive deeper into it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, y'all. This is Women's Talk Live with your girl April J.
I'm your girl
SassyScribe. And from KL, we'll see y'all
on the move.
We'll see y'all next week.
Women talk live.